Warning, this podcast contains...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for American Horror Story Cult. This is episode 10. Charles, Manson, in charge. That is the proper title.
Of our wrongs and our rights.
Exactly. I am your host, Jacob, and with me I have
God.
Don.
That is truly frightening. But hello. How are you today?
Yeah, it's really frightening. That's the point of these damn things. Okay, so here's one of the episodes that I've been waiting for because I just want to see how the fuck they're going to portray this fucked up man. With that being said, at this point, I've said that I've loved Kai, and I think he's one of the best characters that the show has ever cranked out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's getting kind of childish and laughable.
Yeah. Oh, I 100% agree.
Which is why seeing him play these new characters is kind of really refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do we think he did? In terms of... Because we talk about this turn in every season, and it seems like his character is spiraling way, way down, more so than he already was.
Oh, he's spiraling completely out of control. Like, he's losing control of himself. He's being manipulated. He doesn't realize it, where he would have caught on to this, you know, like if he was still in the frame of mind he was at the beginning of the season. But he's gone for a completely downward spiral. And it seems like a couple episodes ago that they were kind of like alluding to that. You know, that all the cult leaders, you know, are slowly losing, you know, they slowly lose control, and they have nothing to do but do themselves and everybody they follow in. Yeah,
unfortunately. Well, good for, you know, the innocent people, but we do see we start with a flashback before election night, and so we see Kai, and there's Winter and her little friends, and they're watching the damn debates. And then we get into this whole thing with these two little shits, these two little girlfriends of Winter, you know, talking about Hillary and how Hillary's going to win, and then, you know, then it becomes this whole political thing that, you know, that none of us really want to get into, but of course, you know, it heats up. Kai, in the moment, just slaps the shit out of this woman who was, you know, being fucking annoying, doing the sexual innuendos. But as she says, I'm fucking pressing charges, and you know what? She does press the damn charges, which causes Kai to go to this anger management therapist.
Mm-hmm. Turns out to be someone we knew already.
Mm-hmm. Well, this ties in, and how the fuck they know each other.
Yep. Because I always wondered how they found each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like she was trying to mastermind him this whole time.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, because we saw her before, but, you know, she just seemed like they didn't seem like they were really working together. They were just kind of like, they just like had a little parlay, or, you know, like something kind of a truce. But this episode, I'm like, what the fuck? She's been like, I was thinking they were going in the direction of she's been masterminding this whole thing the entire time, which is kind of awesome.
Which is how I thought it was going. Because you remember, like, early on, I think it was maybe about episode 2 or 3, I was like, what if Kai's not the mastermind? What if there's somebody over him? And I kind of wasn't wrong, but it did kind of spiral into Kai's taking control himself, you know, and they went in that direction without going in that direction, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, she's not the leader of this cult, but she
Right.
was... It's an outside source manipulating him.
Yeah. Yep.
And way to go, BB, Miss Frances Conroy. This is why I love you. I love every single character that she plays. And I was hoping we'd get her back because we got her for the one episode. And like, fuck yes, I want more of her. Well, we won't be getting more of her, because of things that happen later.
Yeah, she got shot in the head.
Fucking crown. This crown does not stay on my head. I'm gonna.
Just staple it on.
I'm not gonna fucking staple it on.
I'm kidding.
Anyways, so we have. She's basically saying, piece of shit, which he does. He's behaving himself, but then like this is like the start of like his whole. Well, I don't know if it was like here specifically, but like we do see origins of the crazy. And so I guess after this is when he started. Maybe after this point, this is when he started recruiting people, and he started looking up to all these other different cult leaders that happened to look just like him.
Yeah, a coincidence. The only one though was Charles Manson, right? Was that not played by him in the flashback?
Okay, wait, it was him. I'm pretty sure. It took me a while because I'm like, that doesn't look like him, but it was.
Because the hallucination version of Charles Manson definitely looked like Evan Peters.
Oh,
But
you mean like the
actual Charles Manson didn't. So I think they might have been two different actors.
That's weird, though. Well, I guess it would make sense that he would, because he idolizes these people, because he sees himself in all these people, so it would make
Yeah.
sense that, picture them
And
as
when you start
him.
thinking of it, it's like most of the time when he was telling the stories too, it was because like he was portraying the cult leader as himself. So I think he idolizes all of them to the point where he sees himself as all of them, not necessarily that they all were him, in different reincarnated forms like we were originally thinking. Because that wouldn't make sense with Charles Manson, because Manson's still alive in jail. So, for him to be played by a different actor, and then the hallucination version of him is actually Evan Peters. I think that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and like I remember it was I think it was last week me and Mike were talking about how it'd be awesome if like all these different cult leaders played by Evan Peters were in the same room just talking to each other. And we kind of got that.
Slightly.
Yeah, well we just had Charles Manson Evan Peters and Kai Evan Peters talking to each other, which is kind of like this is weird and this must be incredibly fun for any actor to play.
We just need like a roundtable discussion with all of Evan Peters as the different cult leaders taking place in Kai's head would be fantastic.
And I think what this show does really cleverly is because they have not the same cast, but like most of the cast always returning every season. They don't necessarily have to stick to that one character for that particular season. So you're giving the actors range to do more things and not to stick with one character. But the way that the show is shot and the way the actors choose to portray these different characters, they honestly feel like two different people.
Yeah, 100%. Like, not even remotely close.
Well, so we do get this flashback scene with Charles Manson and the Manson family and the horrifying. This scene to me felt so real because the stakes felt high for this family, for this husband and wife and the unborn child. I'm like, this is fucked up. This is really fucked up.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it's this season in particular where American Horror Story gets real.
And like, I feel like the Zodiac scenes that we saw, like 3-4 episodes ago, I feel like they would have had the same reaction had they not have been already portrayed in that movie, The Zodiac. About the killer or whatever. The scenes that they showed almost mimicked the scenes from the movie identically, that I felt like, oh, they're ripping off the movie, and I know that's not the case because they're based on real events. But because I had already seen it in a movie, I just felt like, oh, we're imitating a movie. That was how I felt. But with the Charles Manson scenes here, we really haven't had a portrayal of this in like a famous movie, or at least not one that I've seen anyway, that I could relate to. So when I saw this, it's like, yeah, no, this is felt very real to me. Like, and it made me feel uneasy. Is probably the correct term for that.
Well, good job. Fucking American Horror Story people. You made, I don't know, I had to take a moment. And, like, I had to pause because I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess that's the point. This show has made me uncomfortable many times. You could do all the blood sacrifices. No, this is when, this season in particular, I'm like, okay, this is like, it's hitting too close to home.
Yeah.
But so effective. Okay, then we got, so after tells the campfire story, they go to the damn clinic, and then the store clerk guy is back with his fucking, the guy who had his hand chopped off. I never bothered to remember his name, but
Gary?
Yeah, him. Yeah, so he's all there. He's the only one who didn't get the memo. Everyone else is in their clown outfits, and he's just there on his, lonesome, completely underdressed. And then the poor guy, the poor motherfucker, just was like, he's just completely unaware of what's going on. He's not aware that they are about to fucking kill him. And then I'm just thinking to myself, can someone please lend him a hand?
Oh, too soon, Jake. Too soon. No, but like this is where it gets scary for like thinking of anybody in this cult now, because no one is safe. No one. Like this guy, Gary, who's been loyal to a fault and done everything that Kai's ever asked for, never hindered, never hesitated, never anything. He is there 100% backing Kai. And like that, they turn on him.
Well, loyalty is usually seen as a good thing, usually, but loyalty can be taken advantage of. And really, I think that's what Kai ultimately does, is takes the most loyal members of his cult, and he can manipulate them all he wants. And he knows they're not gonna bat an eye. They're gonna do whatever he says. And that's what he likes. He likes having that feeling of having this power over people, to where he doesn't necessarily have to work that hard to convince them to do anything.
No, he really doesn't. And I understand now, like, as after that scene played out and they're doing the newscast and everything, I understand why he did it. And it was for all those reasons, because yes, he's been loyal to his campaign the whole time, and he can say that, and that would make it seem like he had nothing to do with this. Like, he's the victim because his most loyal person, it's in a sick, twisted way, it's very clever.
Yeah. What makes him so brilliant? This is why I like Kai.
Yeah.
Well, I like him because, he's a fucking dickbag, and, I hate him.
Right.
Which is why I like him, and like the fuckery that these writers are able to. He's such a good character. He's just such a good character, and I'm actually, before when the season started, there wasn't one character I'm like, I want you to live and I want you to win at the end. I didn't really have that for anybody. Like, I loved Kai, but I didn't want him to win.
Yeah.
And we had Allie, who like I didn't give a fuck about.
Mm-hmm.
But now, Allie has gone through this shift. I'm like, where this
is the shift that you were looking for, because there's always, we were like, she's very flat character, one-dimensional kind of thing, and now that's elevated, and I think you could appreciate her character a little bit more now. Am I right?
Definitely, because when it was like a 1 or 2 episodes ago, where like Allie, supposedly she was cured, and then like she got off her ass and started doing the shit. When she killed um,
Her wife.
Ivy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when like I'm like, okay, I like this new Ally because like I didn't really like Ivy to begin with anyway, and so now like you killed two birds with one stone, and the fact that she did not kill Kai because she knew Kai was the thing that was going to make her, the thing that was going to get her closer to her son. She's smart. Before she was just like very irrational, and now she's more methodical, and I'm
Yeah.
liking it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you know, in a way, we were like, oh, what if she turns out to be the mastermind this whole time? It's not that she turns out to be; it's she's manipulating herself to be. And I think in the end, she's going to be the last one standing.
Or she'll die.
It's going to go one way or the other.
But
I
nobody in the show has plot armor.
no, and that's what I love. But it seems like at this point, she's able to manipulate Kai and Winter, right? A bond that you didn't think would be able to break so easy, and you even see Kai break down. You know, with that, like he can't believe it. He needs her to say it. You know, he's practically crying when he's asking her, and you know, you just see Allie in the back. You know, she's just smiling, you know, away, and she's got Kai exactly where she wants him. So it seems like to me she has the potential. I'm not saying she's going to, but she has the potential to overthrow Kai and become the new leader of this cult, I think.
Mm. But you know, like the fucking frat trust fund boys would never allow that to happen. But you know, maybe I don't see her as.
What happened though at the end of the episode? What was the very final scene of this episode?
Yes, I know, but
She, what's his name? I can't. I don't know. Whatever the guy nicknamed the frat boy. He had a wire on him. Right? He was recording the whole thing, and she knew about it, and she followed him to the car. She's gonna hold that over now. She's gonna threaten him that she's gonna reveal it to Kai if he doesn't do what she wants. So that might be how she makes her gets her way to the top. Is she just manipulates and outsmarts everyone.
I mean, I would like that, and well, it'd be interesting to see Allie go from the victim of this cult, clawing her way to the top to be the ultimate leader, and maybe she, you know, Allie, I don't think she's doing like awful things. Wouldn't say she's evil. It'd be cool if she did turn evil, though.
Yep.
Just because I like when shows or movies do that.
I mean, she did kill her wife.
She did
with cyanide, like the last episode.
Hey.
So, yeah, she's gone. She's gone to the dark side. There's no coming back for her. If she does go back, it's going to be exactly what Ivy said. Is she's going to revert back to being scared of clowns and holes and all this stuff that makes her weak. And I think embracing the darkness is what makes her strong right now.
Yeah, but she lost points in my book as soon as she fucking pulled the damn trigger behind.
Yeah, well, that's only because you really like that character.
I love that actress and I love that character. The little time we got with her.
Yeah.
And she was crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
She was like one of the only other people who had power over Kai. We didn't see that before. And then I thought it was going to be this interesting dynamic between her and Kai, and like maybe a battle between the two different cults, and that would have been awesome. But no, fucking Allie can never fucking do anything right. Well, you can sometimes, but like right now was not one of the times. It pissed me off. I still like you, but no. Like, I'm gonna need a moment. I'm gonna need a moment to like process my feelings because I want to say to you, Allie, but you know, it's not unwarranted. But we'll move forward. We'll move forward. Characters die in the series all the time, and I don't want them to. But like, I've just accepted that.
I mean, at least she died an episode away from the finale, so like she didn't die in episode 1 or something like that. We're only realistically going one episode without her. You know, so it's not that big. We'll probably get Francis back for another character next season. So we do know for a fact that we're going 2 more seasons in. So who knows?
Yeah, but we need to talk about one of the last things we do need to talk about is Kai and Winter. Well, Winter, she's having some suspicion. She's like, where the fuck is Ivy? I don't think she's fucking going to culinary school. And she's getting worried Beverly is back. Haven't seen her in a while. And then we have Winter tries to give Beverly this train ticket, and then Beverly is not having it. She's thinking it's all some kind of fucked up test. And Kai has this idea that there's somebody who's a traitor inside the cult. He immediately turns his sights onto Winter. And
Allie doesn't help by playing into his paranoia.
No, but she needs somebody to take the target off her back,
which was done flawlessly because you saw Charles Manson, Kai in the background, going, "Well, it's definitely not her, Allie," So it seems like Allie's in the clear right now.
So it's gonna be Winter, and I wasn't really, I'm not the biggest fan of Winter, but I do feel sorry for Winter in this episode just because of all the shit that happened. We get this emotional moment between Winter and Kai after showing the bug that was planted, and Kai is just trying to get Winter to tell the truth, and then she's not doing it, and then they just have this moment where he's crying because he doesn't want to believe that she's the mole, and they're siblings on top of all that. They ultimately have that bond. They're always going to have that bond, but he knows that I can't have you with us anymore because of the whatever fucked up cause I'm going for. And he chose his cult over his sister, and that's kind of sad. And I think that shows that he's really gone off the deep end, and I don't think there's any going back from it now.
No, there's definitely not. But it's not so much that he chose the cult over his sister. He legitimately thought that she betrayed him. So, in that case, if that is what you honestly believe, it's not a choice. It's feeling like they made the choice. Which we clearly know is not the case, but that's how his head is working. He thinks that she betrayed him, so it's no longer a choice. She made the choice. She's against them. That's how he looks at it.
It doesn't look good on Winter, and then so it's just sad when siblings who these two seemed close.
Yeah.
First, they didn't fight all the time. They seemed like they genuinely did love each other as siblings do, but they loved each other, but they also liked each other. And there's a difference in that. Two siblings can love each other, but they don't have to like each other.
Right. And then as we see, with Kai's older brother, that didn't matter either. They seemed really close too. And in the end that didn't matter. And we got Zombie Brother.
Oh yeah, that was I know that part creeped me out.
Yeah.
Just because that actor.
It was the eyes. That's what did it to me. The eyes, the way those contacts he had in, those were creepy.
That actor himself was just creepy to me.
Yeah.
Out of it, just outside of the show, he's just fucking creepy. I do like the actor though. I think, and Kai, all your siblings are dead. Your family's dead. You need to. I want a scene where all his family members in his head come back and just start talking to him. I just love any time that this show does trippy dream sequences or fucked up imagery in other people's heads. I always love it. So we are getting to the end of this season, and even with all the stuff that happened at the beginning of the season with Allie, who like I wasn't really giving like two shits about, and like the whole thing with I didn't even like Winter at the start, but like now it was episode like 3 or 4 episodes ago where the turn started happening, where like this season went from maybe like third or second favorite to on par with Asylum for me. I yeah. Like I think Asylum is like slightly above this season just because there's just a couple of things in that season that I just personally prefer, specifically in like setting and time period. But this season is probably, while Asylum is my favorite season, I'll say that this season is probably the best season, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I can see that. My favorite's always going to be Murder House. I don't see any season honestly beating that for me. Because that just plays to the traditional horror story that you would think of, ghosts and things like that. These other ones strayed from that, and that's not a bad thing. That just feels like the more traditional horror story to me, and that'll always be horror story to me.
Well, I think the show needed to start out with that to even like get off the ground.
Yeah.
But now that they have the following, they could do more seasons like this one, where they don't necessarily have to rely on like the classic horror tropes.
Right.
And that's why I like this season so much, is because it was different, but it worked. And I
really like this season. Like I know at the beginning of the season, you and Mike especially were kind of iffy on it, and I saw potential for it right in episode 1. I was like, this is gonna be a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, I instantly liked. I know, like even the first episode, I liked the season like more than I liked Roanoke.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What Roanoke, I think what Roanoke was trying to do is what this season does better, where I think with Roanoke, they were trying to do social commentary using the reality TV stuff combined with the supernatural stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they failed, in my opinion, to where like you had one half of the season that I really enjoyed, and then you have the other half of the season that's strayed away from that. And then you had people who liked the second half of the season, and they didn't like the first half. So ultimately, you just have a season that isn't for anybody. This season, I liked it throughout. There were some things that annoyed me in like the first couple of episodes, but like I could overlook that. Like there's so much good that was in the rest.
And it was just, for me, the way that the first episode handled the whole Trump and Hillary thing is they didn't paint one side as better or worse than the other. They just portrayed them as how they are, and you had different sides reacting to their faults and their strengths. And to take a neutral stance on something like that, it was really impressive, especially in the time where our hatred for the president, in some cases the love for the president, can get very skewed in one direction or the other. And for them to just take such a neutral stance like that was impressive and very refreshing for me, actually. But then to play on the fears of what comes with the presidency on top of it, I think is what really made this season succeed a lot.
Definitely. So I'm excited for the next episode. Like I just want to see how the fuck all this is going to end, because this show has been known to like give some great build up but no good payoff.
Yeah, the finales usually fall flat, and for that reason, I'm very not looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it because I think that this is going to be the one. I think this is going to be the one where I'm like, finally, you fucking put a capstone on that shit, and it was fucking beautiful, and you made this lovely stone arc that we can all walk through and enjoy together.
I'm going in less hopeful, so if that is the case, I will be more surprised instead of continually let down.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get my hopes up so that by the time we do get there and it fulfills, then I can stay here and like rant about how good this season was and how it probably maybe even surpasses Asylum if it's managed to do that. And if it doesn't, well, then my hopes have been shattered. Then I will come back on here and like cuss the fuck out of the damn finale. still praise the rest of the show, though.
I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out, because sometimes, and it's rare, but it's possible that the finale of a season could completely destroy the whole season. It's rare, but it could happen.
The only time it ever does that for me,
like here's an example. Here's an example, and I will give you right now how it is possible. Everything that happened this season never happened, and it's all in Kai's head. That would destroy this whole season.
That's the thing that I was getting at, because like usually, like I don't like the. I hate the finale to Asylum. I hate it. I could look past the finale and, enjoy the rest of the season, because the season still happened, and like I can't say that I didn't smile, laugh, and cry and like fucking shit my pants while watching it. But the only time the ending of anything will ruin anything for me is if it was all a dream or in somebody's head, because then you're basically saying, well, that entire thing leading up to that did not happen, so therefore there's nothing to praise.
Yeah.
And
but if this was not an anthology, if this like continued on, right, and let's say this was the first season ever, right, and they did this story and they opened it up and they revealed the whole thing's in Kai's head, right? Number one, be really mad, be upset. I'd be like, I don't know. But then, like, right after that, if they revealed that Trump never won and that Hillary was president and they left it at that, like, that would be like, huh, next season could be interesting, and like, that's the only way I could see, like, them double blindsiding. But this is an anthology, so the next season's not going to tie to this one directly. It's not going to be a direct continuation. So, we don't really have to worry about anything like that. But
I know we do. I know we are getting into that point of the point of the show's run where they start crossing over the seasons, and I do believe that next season is supposed to be the Murder House Coven crossover. But Ryan Murphy said he wanted to do. I think it was this season, actually. It was season 7 that was supposed to do that, and I'm not sure what happened.
They probably came up with a really good idea for this story, and when you come up with something like this, you probably don't want to wait on it, because it's still fresh in everybody's minds.
This was perfectly timed this season, and I think it worked out in their favor.
Yeah.
So I think they're saving the Murder House Coven for next season. They said they want to do, and they said that they have plans for the next 1 or 2 seasons, and hopefully even more after that. There's a lot you could do. And there's a lot you could do with not necessarily bringing back old concepts and old characters, but you can also do the new stuff, because you created a show where you can do that. But I do love when this show does revisit some of their old stuff. We've never seen a direct sequel to one of the other seasons. And I think maybe come season 9 or 10, I would like to see that. Like, I would like to see a sequel to Coven. Yeah, but for now, I am loving this season as like a standalone season. If this was just like a show on its own, I would still love it. It doesn't necessarily have to be American Horror Story. I'm loving it so far.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for the next episode. Anything that you want to add before we go?
No, I'm just skeptically looking forward to the finale.
Oh, good. Okay. So with that has been our show. Dom, where can the people find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
And you can find me and all of my giggles and gore and monsters and mayhem on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter, tweeting me throughout the life at TwoNowhereland. That is TONOWHERELEND. Join the Nowhereland Society. This has been the Outseed TV podcast. You can follow us on platforms such as the Twitters, the MySpaces, and the FaceSpaces, and the Facebooks, and all that shit. And here on Twitch, where we are now. And don't worry if you are just joining us. We are still uploading all of these podcasts onto YouTube. They will just not be live there anymore. You come here to watch the live shows, comment over wherever the chat is. Where's the chat? Is it over there? It's probably
somewhere.
Probably pointing in the wrong direction. But over there, you can talk to us in chat. Maybe we'll read you. Maybe we'll give you a shout out. So, and where's the follow button? Is it up there?
It's somewhere.
Wherever the follow button is. Or you can click it, and then you'll be notified when we are doing these live shows Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know what the whole fucking layout of this is, and like I'm probably.
Yeah, it's all good.
Good night, everybody.